For Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions, there have been a lot of terms to describe them, but playing dirty is definitely not one of them. But Chicago Bears' Justin Fields just put that label on one of the Lions' team captains. We're going to talk about it in today's episode, folks, so stay tuned.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving in. Now, we're diving in, and we're going to be talking about this really quickly because I'm going to be entirely honest with y'all. We're at that point in the offseason where we're not quite yet at free agency, but yet at the same time, there's stuff that's going around in the internet as far as rumors. We're also talking about the draft a little bit. But realistically, we're in that dry spell period. There's just not a whole lot of actual quote-unquote concrete news. So at this point, whenever we get something worth talking about, we're absolutely going to overanalyze it. We're absolutely going to overreact to it. Now, this is one piece of news that to me is kind of a little bit ridiculous. And the news is that on the 33rd team or whatever for the St. Brown Brothers podcast, they had Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields come on the show. And Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields is one of those guys that obviously is getting a lot of attention right now because the Bears hold the number one overall draft pick. And there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of questions about whether or not the Bears are going to use that draft pick to draft superstar quarterback out of USC Caleb Williams. That was addressed somewhat a little bit during there because a lot of people are wondering whether or not the Bears are going to retain Justin Fields or they're going to trade him. Doesn't really matter for this episode. However, though, during that podcast, it came up somehow in conversation that, to Justin Fields' opinion, that he thought, and he stated that in his opinion, that linebacker Alex Anzalone was a dirty player. He specifically stated that he thought that there was too much after the whistle contact, there was too much after the whistle physicality that was going on from the Lions star, well, I wouldn't call him star, but he's a great linebacker for us, and he is a captain for the team. Now, this to me is a little bit ridiculous, because let's understand something here. Is there some truth to what this guy is saying? I don't really think so. But let's just keep this in perspective here. First and foremost, he is on the Bears, which means he's definitely from a rival team, which means virtually anything that rival team is going to do, they're going to pretty much put over the top. Second of all, let me just put this out there for what it is. The NFL right now has been extremely, what's the word I'd use? Overprotective when it comes to player safety, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. Now, here's why I have a problem with Justin Fields calling Alex Anzalone a dirty player. The reason why I have a problem with it is because let's understand something here. If Alex Anzalone was a dirty player, the NFL would definitely fine him. They would have suspended him. They would have made an example of Alex Anzalone. There was a perfect case in point earlier this year. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but I know he's a safety, and I know he plays with the Denver Broncos, was constantly getting flagged for illegal hits by the NFL refs, was constantly getting fined, and then he actually got suspended for repeat violations of that. That right there, at least according to quote-unquote the NFL's definition of dirty hits, dirty play, that right there I could consider a dirty player. But calling Alex Anzalone a dirty player, in my opinion, is just absolutely ridiculous. Because in my honest opinion, does every player have an instance where, you know what, maybe after the whistle is blown, they might have got a little extracurricular action going on with, hey, you know what, maybe I got an extra jab or an extra hit in? Absolutely. But it's like, let's understand something here, folks. It's football. Football is a physical game. There's a reason why if you're going to play football, you have to realize you're going to get hit. There's going to be pain involved. Now, I understand it. Justin Fields, he's trying to protect his livelihood. He's trying to make sure he's not getting injured. And obviously, you want to play within the confines of the game. But calling a player dirty just because of an extra hit here or there or something that's happening after the whistle, I think is a little ridiculous. Because let's understand something here. There is a clear line between what is considered a dirty player and somebody who's just playing through the whistle. Because let's understand something here. If you want to call someone dirty, there has to be something that you could clearly define as being dirty. Let me just give an example from Detroit Lions history that, yeah, we could say a player was dirty. And that would have been Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh was about as close to a dirty player that the Lions have had within the last, 20, 30 years that I can honestly think right off the top of my head. The guy stepped on people, the guy kicked people, the guy had no problem with necessarily throwing, stuff that was not at all allowed in football because, hey, you know what? It was Ndamukong Suh. That I would consider more of a dirty player than Alex Anzalone. When you think about it, Dan Campbell has been nothing but highly complimentary for Alex Anzalone. Same with Aaron Glenn. And even though I don't like Aaron Glenn, there's one thing I can definitely say about Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is all about players that are honorable. He's all about players that play good, clean football, not players that are dirty. That is something that is never, ever going to happen here with the Detroit Lions. The Lions respect the game of football way too damn much to be having players going out there and playing dirty football. That's never going to happen with a Dan Campbell player. So the fact that Justin Fields is hurling this accusation at Alex Anzalone just absolutely is ridiculous in my opinion. In my honest opinion, it's total fabrication. Now, honestly, again, it's all based on opinion. Obviously, Justin Fields has his opinion, and obviously he made it well known. I have my opinion. I'm making it well known. But here's the reason why I think that we are getting to a point with football where it's like, dude, we're losing the integrity. We're losing the heart of the sport. Let's just keep things in perspective here. If you go back even to the beginning of the 2000s, the name of the game of football is vastly different than what we're playing right now. Again, you go back to the early 2000s. I remember playing in high school. I'd sit in the film room and the coaches would be like, okay, you know what? We're going to show you guys this hype film of all these guys that are doing these massive hits in the NFL and college, so that way we can hype you up getting ready to play for the game. And I was always watching those, and I always enjoyed watching them because I'd see guys like, Mike Allstott, or I see, Corey Schlesinger, or I'd see John Lynch, or I'd see Ed Reed, or I'd see Troy Polamalu. These are guys that are going out, they are just absolutely knocking people's blocks off, and it was just absolutely fun to watch because that was football. It's a physical, violent sport that is going to push your body physically to its limits. But yet now we have guys like Justin Fields that are saying, oh, well, if you do something a little extracurricular, I'm going to run and cry home to mommy, which is the NFL, or I'm going to complain that I think that you are not playing the sport fair. You want to know what I call that? I call that, as an old-time player, soft. When I got hit extracurricular, it was like, hey, you know what? It's just part of the sport. Unless it was a clear violation where the guy was clearly trying to do me harm, which that did happen on a couple occasions, I didn't let it bother me. It's like, hey, you know what? We're playing football. You're going to try your best to physically get the better of me. I'm going to physically try to get the better of you. That's the name of the game. So for me, it's like, if you're going to start really throwing accusations like a player is dirty just because, oh, I got an extracurricular shot on you, I think that's just being stupid. I think that's being soft. I think that is just simply showing that you're not ready to play with the big boys. Because let me put it to you this way. I don't remember Tom Brady ever calling a player dirty. I don't remember Tom Brady ever having a problem with guys like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, or any of those other big-time hitters when they would get a hit on him. I don't remember that at all. I remember when Tom Brady got his knee busted for a completely legal hit that then became an illegal hit. My whole point is this. This nonsense about, Alex Anzalone is a dirty player, it's stupid on multiple levels. Number one, it's stupid because if Alex Anzalone was a dirty player, the NFL would have definitely reprimanded Alex Anzalone the way they did that safety for the Denver Broncos. But yet, that didn't happen. Number two, The sport of football should be allowing you to have the physicality to play the sport without necessarily, what's the word I would be calling it? Emasculating you for not being able to play the sport in a physical, manner. And then number 3, I'm just going to put this out here for what it is. Justin Fields. You want to talk about somebody being a dirty player. Let me just ask this question for you. Why would you go after Alex Anzalone of all individuals? There are a lot of other guys you could have gone after that are much more highly, fitting of that word. Alex Anzalone is not a dirty player. If anything, Alex Anzalone is one of the most respected players that you could possibly find for the Detroit Lions and probably in the NFL. So why would you specifically go after him? That to me just makes no sense. To me, it almost seems like you've got an axe to grind and you were just trying to make that publicly known. Or maybe it's because of the fact that your team right now is trying to court somebody else, so you were peeved off about that, so you just wanted to go after the easiest target you could find. Just saying. But anyway, didn't want to take too long with this. I'm kind of a little bit irritated because I hate it when we have players that want to, throw the dirty card out there and they want to be all somewhat kind of way with other players, and it's like, dude, it's football. Get the hell over it or get the hell out of the sport. Stop being so big of a freaking wuss about this and just play the game the way it's supposed to be played. The more we see people get into their feelings about how, he hit me too hard or he hit me after the whistle. So what? Get over it. I understand that this is a sport that has millions of dollars on the line, but unless he's intentionally trying to hurt you, which nobody is really trying to do that, they're just trying to play the sport, get over it. But anyway, gonna let this go. Just wanted to put this out here, give my 2 cents on the whole matter. But with that having been said, I just want to say to everybody, thank you all for watching another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage all to watch the next episode. Also encourage all to do one of these 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past, you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, please subscribe. It helps out the channel. But also want to highly encourage y'all, please, to make sure you turn on that bell notification icon at the bottom, so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, and I'm ever so thankful for every subscription that I can get my hands on. Also want to highly encourage y'all, please, to share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with anybody and everybody that you can. The more we share it, the better the channel grows, the better the channel spreads, the better the channel does. And again, I'm thankful for every share I can possibly get, along with every subscription that I can possibly get. And with that being said, to everybody, I just want to say thank you all for watching the content. Whether you've been a long-time subscriber or you just showed up for the very first time, thank you all for giving my show a shot. Thank you all for coming back. It really means the world to me that I have such loyal fans and people that are willing to hear what I have to say. And to everybody, I just want to say, God bless. Hope you all enjoyed the content. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.